Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
To see you all up.
What did you say?
You just like,
You know, I got a couple things going on over here at the same time.
yeah, that's right. I know that's right. But what we got coming up for this week?
Today we're going to talk about National Fresh Breath Day,
Mm,
National Root Beer Float Day, and National Dollar Day is on Sunday. We also had a viewer question we're going to answer that came in last week and give you guys a little tidbit on what's going to come next week so you guys can send us some suggestions and some questions. Yep,
yeah, buddy.
we have a Fun Fact Friday. Friday.
I like that
Happy
ending with the fight.
Friday.
Ooh, happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday.
Yeah, so how were you guys this week?
My week was pretty good. It seemed like it went fast. Fast and then, just busy. But
Mm,
I prefer it to be a busy week than a slow week because the slow weeks seem to go by slower
right,
and
right.
longer, take longer. The slow weeks seem to be longer when it's slow. But I'd
Yeah,
rather
why
be
we call it
busy.
slow?
Eh? That's how I was trying to figure out how to say it where it really made sense. When it's slow and it's not as busy, it seems longer. When it's busy and you're moving around and you're doing stuff, it seems like it goes by faster. I think that made more sense.
So your week was it a sloth week or roadrunner week? I missed that.
um, in between.
Well, I don't know who's in between. The turtle?
It was a sloth runner.
Okay.
So it was a sloth week and road runner week. So in between, we'll put it together, and it was a sloth runner week. How was your week, Wilson? Uh,
Wilson.
Wilson, Wilson disappearing, hiding on us already.
She's hiding on
You know
us
she
already.
did the wave on us already.
Right, right. But I don't see the fence.
No, I think Wilson, we've been traveling a lot. That's one thing. Fun Facts Friday has been traveling, visiting different places. We've been out at events. You could tell it's summertime because we've been out and about. So Wilson might be in a different location today. She may not have her fence. She might be
Wilson may
behind a
not even
tree or
be in.
something.
Hey, look, Wilson may not even be in this country today.
You know, Wilson
Wilson,
might pop up at the beach, pop up in the
right,
forest.
right, right. You know her virtual vacation.
Right,
So
exactly. So we might see Wilson at some point through the show.
or we may hear her.
That's true. We'll probably hear her before we see her, huh? You know what? Speaking of hearing her, that takes us great into our first topic.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing people, that means they have to be talking, right? Now, I know we've been wearing masks and we may not have been in as much contact with people face to face, but when we are, we want to make sure that our breath smells good. And today is National Fresh Breath Day, which gives us a perfect opportunity to talk to you guys and give you some tips and ideas on how to make sure that your breath stays fresh. This day was created to urge appreciation of oral hygiene and its importance. Some people, we may think we've been talking about personal hygiene. We talked about that yesterday, and I was like, okay, this goes along with our theme last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And some people may think that, oh, fresh breath is just a cosmetic type thing, I guess, that it's just a nice idea to have fresh breath. But some people may have an actual medical or dental situation going on that causes you not to have fresh breath. If
Right.
you if you've tried, you know, some ways it says to combat bad breath, if you make sure you brush after your meals, so that especially if you eat onions, you don't want to have onion and garlic on your breath. Brush your teeth after your meal before you go talk to people. Floss before bedtime. Gargle and rinse your with mouthwash regularly. And even in addition to that, I've heard that you want to make sure that it's a decent mouthwash. It sometimes just because it's strong and may burn doesn't necessarily mean it's doing its job. Choose sugar-free gum to keep the mouth moist. Stay hydrated, drink water, and seek regular dental care. Poor dental hygiene is a major cause for bad breath. You hear sometimes people make jokes say, "Ooh, they got halitosis." Halitosis is a real thing.
Right.
It's a persistent bad breath. It's
Right.
a real issue. It's not just a joking word. Some people may truly have that. And if you do battle bad breath and you've tried and you think it may be a deeper issue, consult your physician, your doctor. It could be something else going on inside your body that's coming out through your breath. I know sometimes they say for diabetics, they may have a fruitier smell to their breath because their body has more sugar in it. So there may really be something going on and you notice it through the smell of your breath. But you should be the only one that notices that though, because you don't want to have, stale breath and other people notice it. And yeah, you want them to hear the words, not smell the words.
Well,
Wow.
I so, 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 so I have something to say about all this.
Yeah, I hear Wilson saying, "Wow."
Yeah, it's a wow, and we've been wearing these masks for quite some time now. So those
hmm
people that were around me that did have the halitosis or whatever, I wonder, do they smell it when they're talking through their mask? Because it
If
be
if we smelled it through their mask, I would think that they would smell it because that mask is like your breath is coming back at you.
right, but I do know somebody that's like that, and they keep talking, and I'm like, do you smell that?
Well, one thing too, sometimes, and you may get accustomed to your smell, or you may not smell it because it's normal to you. Maybe you don't realize that it is. If you're around somebody, a suggestion to keep some gum with you, keep some sugar-free gum with you, and when you're around someone and their breath smells and you think they could benefit from a piece of gum, just take a piece and put it in your own mouth and then offer it. Say, "Would you like a piece of gum?" They'll think you're just being polite, but really you're trying to help them because their breath might be bad.
And that's
You
why
know,
they say never turn down an
Never,
offer of piece of
yes,
gum or a mint.
never turn it. That's right, because you don't
well,
know. Maybe there's a reason they're giving it to you, but they just don't want to be rude and say, "You know what, you need this." They might
Or
just
you know what I said? You could say, "Hey, would you like a mint?" And they say, "No, thank you." "Oh yeah,
no. You
you'd
sure
like a
you?
mint. You'd like a mint."
Well, I would like for you to have a mint.
yeah, I was gonna say, with the gum thing, I don't chew a lot of gum. So if you offered me some gum, I am gonna say really, no, thank you. I don't chew a lot of gum because it gets addictive, and then it tends to pop and all that
Uh,
other stuff that I'm not trying to do on purpose, but I will take a mint. So if I say no, so ask me, would you like a stick of gum or a piece of mint, and whatever I take, that's what I want you to take too.
okay, so because I know that, if I was to offer you a piece of gum, and now that we've given the hint that when someone offers you, they may smell something that you don't smell, would you still say no, even though you don't normally chew gum, or would you take it and then like go to the bathroom or go take care of like? Would that be a hint to you, like maybe I need to brush my teeth or do something? You wouldn't take it as a hint? No. Okay, well, I'll make sure that we always have mints and gum.
No, because you know what? You know what? Another thing is a lot of times that's just like if you have some chocolate or something you're eating, and I'm standing there and you say, "Hey, would you like a piece of chocolate?" No, go ahead and you enjoy it. Whereas it's the same,
Because you are used to just offering something.
right, right.
So I guess that's true. Depending on relationship, you may be close enough to somebody just walk over to and be like, your breath smell a little tart right now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you've done that before.
But see, that's the relationship. And that right there, that is part of what we are going to be talking about next week. Friends and family, and we'll let you guys know again. Friends and family, same and different. So, because we are close friends slash family, we'll go
Mhm.
into that. There are some things that family and friends will do, or some things that family may do that friends won't do. So that's part of what we're going to talk about next week. Um, if you have any ideas, send us your suggestions, questions, comments, things you would like us to address to
Right.
funfactsfriday100@gmail.com. That was a perfect spot to go ahead and let you guys know that right there.
Yeah.
Yes. So, with that, speaking of friends and family, it's summertime, and you know our Fun Facts Friday family, we love to talk about food. So we could not have our national days without bringing up a food item. And today is National Root Beer Float Day. Root beer floats, it made me think, go to it talking about friends and family because that's a common thing that you may see at barbecues or when you're out with your friends and family. You may say, let's go out for some ice cream, or you may not really want ice cream as far as to scoop it, but you can have ice cream in a root beer float.
Right.
Do you know root beer floats? Frank J. Wisner of Cripple Creek, Colorado, he gets the credit for inventing what was originally called Black Cow. The root beer float was originally called Black Cow, and he gets the credit for inventing that way back in August of 1893. When I was reading this story, it said that he was sitting out looking at the cows, and now how factual this story is, but this is what I read on National Day Calendar. That he was sitting out looking at the field of the cows, and the clouds were above it. It was the clouds or the moon. It was night. So the moon was above it, and the moon reminded him of a scoop of ice cream. And it was a scoop of ice cream on top of the black cows. And they say that that's how he came up with that name. Now, like I said, I got that from nationaldaycalendar.com. That's not an Erica fact. That's what I found out on there. But
Well,
I had never heard it called a black cow.
well,
I've
yeah,
heard purple cow when you do it with grape soda.
yeah, and then when you do it with orange, what's that, like an orange dream or something they call it or whatever?
Orange whip is what I found. They call it orange whip, which
Mm-hmm.
vanilla ice cream and orange soft drinks, or like dreamsicle, creamsicle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wilson, that's the one you like, isn't it?
What, the dreamsicle?
She likes that orange sickle, like the actual ice cream though that has white ice cream and then the frozen orange
Mm-hmm.
soda.
Mm-hmm.
So you know
Well,
what? Mr. Wilson was over here. He gave me a root beer float.
yeah, well, it's
See
so
that?
funny. I have one too, but I want to tell you a little story about the black cow. Yours said that he was sitting there and looking at the moon, and the moon looked like, a scoop of ice
Ice
cream.
cream. What story did you see?
Well, mine says that he was sitting out and he noticed the snowy peaks on the Colorado cow
On the
mountain.
mountains. I saw that one too.
And he said the cows in the snow looked like ice cream floating in the snow. So that was more, and I said, well, then that's more like a chocolate ice cream, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, if it's a cow.
So it says black cow and brown cow is made with cola instead of root beer. I don't know.
And that's called the black cow?
They said in some places it's called a black cow or a brown cow, but it's made with cola instead of root beer. So I got my root beer here. So I'm gonna make my float real quick.
And so this one is, what kind of root beer do you have, Sissy? Let me just see the jar.
I have, can you see it? I have A&W. Old school.
Well, that's what I have in mind too, A&W. And Mr. Wilson, he's testing out, it's called Teddy's root beer. Fred, look like Teddy's root beer, and it's a picture. Well, I don't know if that's where it's supposed to be Theodore Roosevelt, but it looked almost like him. But yep, Teddy's root beer. So I'm wondering, we were discussing, and this is one we probably do later. You know, we always said we're gonna test this out. Does the root beer make the float, or does the ice cream make the float? Do you think the root beer float would taste different using different types of different types of root beer, or would it still taste like a root beer float because they have the same ingredients?
No, I think that it would, depending on the root beer, it would taste different because some root beers are stronger than other root beers.
True. True. And just like if you just drink it regular, it tastes different, so it would make the float taste different. I think this all go taste good. What do you think, Miss Wilson?
I haven't had one yet.
Oh, Miss Wilson's gonna have hers in a minute. It's coming.
I don't think anything tastes as good as A&W root beer. There's something about that root beer.
Well, you know, A&W is old school, Wilson. So,
that's right.
You know, that's what we had. That's what we had.
Maybe that's where it started, with the A&W restaurant.
Right.
Restaurant.
And do you know that I saw that some A&W restaurants, but there weren't any close to us, they actually, because it's root beer float day, they're giving away free root beer floats.
Oh, we gotta go find one.
The closest one is Wisconsin that's actually participating in that. The closest one is participating.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say there was one close to me.
But see, I think that's the difference in a franchise where they don't have to participate. This was on the actual A&W website.
Oh, okay. See,
yes, Wilson says she would like A&W, please.
K and what? Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Some of them have A&W. I think over in Richmond, right? I've seen one.
And there's one in Vallejo.
Oh, okay.
There's one right in Vallejo that does A&W, yes.
But they're not doing the free floats.
They're not. No.
They're not real A&Ws.
Right. They're probably the franchise.
Wilson talking about the old school A&W root beer with the baby burger, the mama burger. And the
oh yeah, that's what they have there. I think
they still have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Look good, so I didn't date myself.
Yeah, they still have it.
But you know,
how much? Do you remember how much you used to pay for those? You probably paid about $1 for it, huh?
Look,
well, I don't know.
I was in the back seat.
Right.
You just said what you wanted, huh?
Right. Yeah. With tater tots.
Yeah.
You want fries and tater tots, Neil?
Yeah.
But you know,
made me say $1 because the dollar's been around for a while. A lot of things cost $1.
Yeah, it did.
And on Sunday, dollar burgers. You know, Sunday is National Dollar Day. Sunday, August 8th is National Dollar Day. To commemorate the day, Congress established the U.S. monetary system in 1786. Wow, so that's how long dollars have been around.
Wow.
In 1860, you did?
Yeah, with one of my children in their history.
Oh, wow. But, well, that's when they established the monetary system. So I think they probably started with the coins and the buffalo nickels and stuff. But it wasn't until 1862 that the United States printed its first dollar bill. And the first dollar bill featured Salmon P. Chase, who was President Lincoln's Secretary of Treasury. His picture was actually the first picture on the first dollar bill.
Mm.
It actually wasn't Abraham Lincoln. And now this was a little disgruntling. I guess people who complain about how much they make now shouldn't complain, because it was until September 3rd, 1961, that the minimum wage was $1 or less.
Oh, wow.
Just in 1961. That really wasn't that long ago to
Nope.
think that people were making $1.
But now, remember when I remember somebody went and they was working in Georgia
Up,
and
yes.
and what was it? Was it like $2?
It was like $2 an hour to work as a waitress in Georgia. And I was coming from California. I was like, what? $2? And that was in 2005.
And I said, isn't that against the law?
That was in 2005, and that was, you had to work for your tips.
Wow. I thought that was crazy, against the law.
Yeah, right.
But it wasn't.
People can pay whatever they wanted to pay.
Mm.
Right.
Needless to say, she didn't stay there too long.
Right,
You know what?
exactly. I found a new job real quick.
Yeah, it's so funny we're talking about the dollar bills and everything. So I gotta tell a quick story. I was watching Bewitched, right?
That.
And so so George Washington came and he was amazed that he was in a whole nother century and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so Darren was doing something, and he says, "No, you're the father of our country," and all this other stuff. And he said, "Look, your name, your picture is actually on this dollar bill." So he took it and he looked at it and he tried to put it in his pocket, and they said, "No, you can't do that." But he said, "Well, what's that?" And it was a $5 bill. And it said Lincoln was on the $5 bill. So he looked and he said, "Well, why does he get on the $5 bill and I'm only on the dollar bill?" So the moral of the story was that they said because more people can afford $1 bills than they can $5 bills, and that there are more $1 bills made than any other bill that's out there.
So he was more popular still.
Exactly.
Because more people saw him.
Oh, okay.
I would believe that. They say the dollar bill is circulated more.
Yeah. So because you always got a dollar bill on you.
Most of the time.
So Wilson said,
Mhm.
I have a question now back to these root beer floats real quick.
Okay.
Do you just put the straw in the root beer cup and just drink it and eat it like that? Do you use a spoon, pick up ice cream with a little bit of soda in it and eat it? Or do you swirl it all up and whip it all up and make it look like a milkshake and then eat it?
Well, looking at mine, I sort of squished the ice cream and it looks more like a milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why now I need a straw.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I have a milkshake straw in mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The thicker straw.
Right.
Now, did you stir it all up or did you just put your straw in and start drinking?
I put my straw in and started drinking. So what I did when before it got too milky like, when I first sucked it up, it had a little bit of a little bit of root beer taste and a little bit of ice cream that came up through it.
Oh, okay. So you get it all at once.
Right, but now it's just a milkshake.
For me, if I have the bottle of root beer, I'll go ahead and drink it because then you're gonna need to pour some more in because it's gonna be just ice cream and no more root beer.
Yep. And I have to refill it.
And then
just one of those things. I was just wondering how did you drink it?
But I always keep some of my my drink, whatever I'm mixing up. I always keep some on the side to wash it down because sometimes ice cream gets a little thick in there. You need
That's different. That's different. all the different ways to eat, drink
Drink
a
a
root
root beer
beer
float.
float.
Right.
Oh,
Well, at least one good thing
so
is if you won't have to off. Well, you can offer me a root beer float. That can kind of help with that halitosis some too. You can offer me a
Uh
root beer float.
you went all the way back.
oh. One more thing about the root beer float. How
Okay.
many slurp it up at the end? You got to hear that sound.
No, that's you.
I
I
love that
think that is.
sound. I love that sound.
You know that um misophonia though.
So,
Yeah.
but you know who makes a good root beer float, but I don't know if they use A&W, so I have to go. No, I think they use that Barks root beer. It's
Who?
Arby's.
They do make a root beer, huh? A root beer float.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm.
actually muted me.
That misophonia, you was making my misophonia kick in. You know, misophonia is the irritation, is a disorder in which certain sounds trigger. And it's that there is a fun fact. You know, sometimes you can hear like the nails scratching on the chalkboard
Mm-hmm.
or different sounds when people chew or smack or slurp drinks and stuff. Those little type of sounds sometimes say, "Ooh, that sound drives me crazy." That is really truly a condition called misophonia. It is a disorder in which certain sounds trigger emotional or psychological responses. Yes. So yeah, I did because that slurping was triggering a little bit.
You muted Wilson?
She unmuted and then she muted herself back up. I didn't mute her again. I just muted her the first time. She put herself on mute this time. She's probably finishing slurping. We don't want to trigger any of our viewers.
Exactly.
We don't want to trigger
Exactly.
any of our viewers. So, speaking of our viewers, we had a question come in last week. And that question was, what is the difference between deodorant and antiperspirant? This information comes from www.healthline.com.
Mm-hmm.
So, deodorant is formulated to eliminate armpit odor, but not the perspiration. The well, I'll read all the things it says about deodorants first. Deodorants are typically alcohol based. When applied, they turn your skin acidic, which makes it less attractive to bacteria. And they commonly contain perfume to mask the odor. So deodorants are more to target odor, not so much the fact that you're getting sweaty or you may sweat under your arms.
I disagree.
Antiperspirants, on the other hand, they have active ingredients that usually include aluminum-based compounds that temporarily block your sweat pores. Blocking the sweat pores reduces the amount of perspiration that reaches your skin. Some people have said that aluminum in the antiperspirants, we use those terms interchangeably a lot when they really aren't the same. But some people say that aluminum in the deodorant, it can cause breast cancer. Well, we looked it up for you. According to the American Cancer Society, there is no clear link between cancer and the aluminum in antiperspirants because only a tiny amount of aluminum is absorbed. And that tiny amount says 0.0012% based on research on antiperspirants containing aluminum chlorohydrate. Now, they do have prescription antiperspirants that are available. Just how we mentioned, bad breath can truly be a medical condition. Oversweating and overperspiration can be a true medical condition, and they do have prescription antiperspirants that are available. Now, this morning, I had to look at because I have noticed that there are certain brands that don't seem to do the job. And I looked at the brand that I use, and it actually says antiperspirant and deodorant. So it's both of them together in one. And I noticed that because sometimes you can't just buy the one that's on sale. You have to get what's going to work.
Well, or you have people, like me, you can, when I get excited or like earlier today, when you and I was talking and I got upset, everything boiled up, and then next thing I know,
Right.
my deodorant have failed me. But I think I told you before, it's like I have to change my deodorant every 2 to 3 months, it just whatever. I mean, I can spend, $10, $11 on a deodorant and it doesn't do me any good.
Doesn't
But
work.
there is one deodorant that was made, a homemade one, and it worked wonderful for me. So when I got upset or excited or what have you, I still say smooth.
So would you say that that was a homemade antiperspirant because it sort of minimized the amount that you sweat,
It
or it
was
was a homemade deodorant that just
it
it
was
didn't?
it was a homemade, it was it was a deodorant, it was a roll up, and it was kind of white. She didn't put any ingredients or anything on it, but it
Right.
wasn't well, I don't know, because some are clear
Because
too.
did you notice that you still sweat a lot? It just didn't have a smell, or you just didn't even sweat as much?
I didn't even sweat as much.
So I think that would fit in the category of a antiperspirant, because the antiperspirants, whatever's in it, helps reduce the amount of perspiration.
Right, but as you said, yours had both of it.
Yes, that's
in
true.
it.
It could have
So,
been both.
and like I said, I just remember, when so I got to a point where I only used it on certain days because I was trying to preserve it,
Yeah.
Uh-oh, who burped? Did somebody burp
Never
there?
burp.
Did somebody
Uh-uh.
burp there?
Oh, slurp. No, not on this side.
What? Let me look. Let me look down. No, she's muted.
So, but just like you said, you preserve it. So you notice too. Would you agree that you can't always just go for what's cheaper?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But you know how sometimes they say, well, just because it's not as expensive doesn't mean that it's not good. But
That's true too.
but I've tried, everything. I've even tried what they call that natural deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? You see it a lot.
I've seen it.
You see it a lot in like your Whole Food markets and stuff, the natural deodorants and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, but to me, it's a little too natural.
It needs a little something that's not natural so that it works all the way, right?
Yeah, so I mean, it's up to you. Like I said, I change mine every 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I've even tried that clinical strength one.
And that one hasn't worked.
Mm-mm. That one doesn't work. I even tried that one that's supposed to last 48 hours.
Did it last 48 hours for you?
Oh
man.
charcoal? You tried the charcoal?
I have some in there right now. I can go get it, show you.
Really?
Charcoal? Oh, a charcoal deodorant? I haven't seen that one.
Mhm.
And they have charcoal toothpaste and charcoal everything. It's a big thing now.
Yeah.
I have seen the charcoal toothpaste. They even have charcoal toothbrushes.
Yeah.
And they have the face wash and all that other stuff. Yeah, but yeah, no, I have that in there too. I can, you know what? I should have lined them all up and brought them in and said, look at all this.
And show us all you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just,
well,
you know what?
hopefully.
I just change it. So you know what I do now? Since I have an arsenal of these stuff, so when my 3 months come, I'll go switch back to something else. And then I say, oh yeah, that's why I don't do that one, because that one definitely didn't work.
Didn't work. Well, hopefully you guys will have mints or gum with you to keep the breath fresh. Make sure you read the ingredients on if you need an antiperspirant versus a deodorant. Some of the hygiene things we talked about last week, the soaps and the lotions. Just be mindful about your personal hygiene and how it might affect other people around you too. And so, yeah, that was our personal hygiene series, I guess, for a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
And then join us, get ready to join us next week. We're going to talk about some friends and family, same and different. We're going to talk about some things that can be the same or different in friends and family, and not necessarily better or worse, just might be different, you know?
Mhm.
So send us any of your ideas, any questions you may have on that. We also have some events coming up this week that are Saturday. We have a free backpack. Well, we don't have, but in our community, there's a free backpack and food giveaway. It's going to be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Bethel Community Church, 600 East Tabor Avenue, Fairfield. It says they're going to have free backpacks, school supplies, reusable masks, and groceries. You could drive up or you can walk up. Children must be present to receive the backpacks. And so that is at Bethel Community Church, 600 East Tabor Avenue. And then next Saturday, we will actually be out at the 5th annual 707 Friends and Family Reunion at Laurel Creek Park. If you have a business or something that you would like to share, tomorrow is the last day that you can get in touch with us to add some of your cards to the goodie bags we're giving away. But we look forward to seeing you out there. Look for our tent. We'll be out there. You'll see me, Sissy, Wilson. You might get to see her in person. And we'll be out there at some point through the day.
Yeah.
And so we look forward to seeing all of you guys out there. And yeah, those are upcoming events in the community coming up this weekend. Did you have anything else, Sissy, before we tell them where to catch you on Sunday?
No, that's about it for the community events. I just wanted, we had our music going in the background, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that though you can still meet me in the chat at wolccfairfield.com, you can also go in person there.
That's right.
50 Parker Road, and enjoy the service live and in person. I mean, I'm more than welcome to see you in the chat, but you can go in person. You can meet Sissy. And we
are still practicing social distancing. Mask must be worn inside. But yeah, yes, that's right. We're in person.
So you can, go and get the full word right there in person. Every week I take away something from it. So yeah, hit us up, hit me in the chat, or go live and in person.
Yes. Wilson, you have anything else you want to say as we go out? You know what?
Just had to do that. See y'all later.
Fun Facts Friday.
Have a great week.
Yes, have a great week. See you guys later. Deuces. Slurping her, get your root beer floats.
I need a hamburger.